Alright, welcome back to the Pokemon Diamond Professor Oak Challenge. In the last episode, we were grinding. We had evolved Geodude into Graveler, and we picked up Foppa. We ended it last episode on level 11. There was a failed episode. I'm not restarting the game just to have continuity. Foppa's level 12. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Pokemon world design and basically how I think that it has fallen off of a cliff. I genuinely believe that the first 5 generations have greater world design than Gen 6, 7, 8, and honestly 9. Now Gen 10, different story. But I've got like something in my teeth, my bad. That's what I get for eating food right before doing this. Anyway. Fucking hell. Anywhoosies, the first 5 generations, you had really open worlds. And what I mean by that is, yes, you were still kind of railroaded in certain locations, and you couldn't go all over the place, but in the limitations that you had, you could explore the world. And what made the world so much more alive and interesting was, say you go into a cave and it's just like a dead end when you have like one badge, but there's a whole body of water. You come back when you get like the 5th badge, when you have surf, or no, the 4th badge. No, 5th, yeah, the 5th badge, my bad. When you have the 5th badge and you have surf, you know, you can come back to this cave and now, oh, look at that, you need the 7th badge, you gotta get, or the 6th badge, you need strength. You come back with strength, holy shit, there's some trainer with a level 40 Staraptor, you're gonna go fuck him up. After that, holy shit, I got Brick Break. It makes the world feel alive and it keeps rewarding you for, like, coming back. Granted, when, you know, the next generations did come out, Gen 6 and 7, 6 you still had HMs, cool, really don't care. I mean, honestly, people hate HMs. The reality of it is, if you were able to just delete the move, then who cares? Like, you really don't need to worry about the HMs at that point as long as you can delete the move. That's the main drawback of it. However, the world was relatively open. You had all sorts of crazy things in Gen 6. You know, they were still, like, working with the games that they had, or the consoles they had, and they were pushing the limitations of them. However, the problem was, I feel like they bloated the game too much with not too much to do, but too many weird scenarios. Like, you've got way too many triple battles, or you've got way too many like rotation battles with Gen 5. But like triple battles, you've got and then on top of that, like, you've got these new battles, like sky battles, I think they were called. Excuse me. But anyway, like, when you're exploring the world for what it is, you're being stopped by all of these weird gimmicky battles, and then by the time you get to like something cool, you see a differently colored Pokeball, so you know it's a TM, or you see a little sparkle on the ground, you know it's a Mega Stone, and it kind of like gets rid of the mystery, because like in the first 5 gens, it was all just a Pokeball. You don't know what that Pokeball is. You don't know if it's going to be a fucking Ultra Ball, a TM, an HM, because they used to do that. And it was really cool. And now you've got the games that just, they don't really care. They railroad you into a direction, and once you've been railroaded into the direction and you've done all that you can, now what? Or in the case of Generation 9, once you've done the main region and you beat the Elite Four, you have Area 0, which is really cool. I haven't like beaten Gen 9. I think I got like the first 2 badges or something like that, and I just did not care anymore. However, I feel as though the games were definitely mismatched. They weren't, or not mismatched, mishmashed is the term I'm trying to look for, I guess. Where it's just an amalgamation of a bunch of bullshit they threw together and then, you know, called it a day. Oh yeah, you've got these gangs of Pokemon, but they don't really interact, so to speak. That was like my main complaint about Arceus, was they had this semi-open world game where you're going out and you're exploring, and like, don't get me wrong, it's sick as hell what they managed to do on the Nintendo Switch 1. Because for the game to be able to run as well as it did on that hardware was crazy. But when I genuinely hope that the Pokemon interact with each other in ways that like they hunt each other or something like that. I also don't care for the like moving around in Pokemon battles. That kind of I do like the real-time battles though, where it's like, you know, your turns are happening. I think that's cool. But outside of that, I don't know. I think Gens 1 through 5 really killed it. You had, let's see here. In Generation 1, you could explore all of Kanto with like 2 badges, I think. Or not all of Kanto, but like every land area you could explore. And then once you got Surf, you pretty much were opened up until Cerulean Cave, and then once you beat the Elite Four, you know, you got Mewtwo coming your way. Gen 2, you had all of Johto, so let's see here. In the first few routes, you've got Dark Cave, you've got the Ruins of Alph, Sprout Tower, and then you've got Azalea Town, you've got the Alex Forest, Slowpoke Well, you've got Goldenrod Tower, there's what, in the remakes, you've got the Pokeathlon, there's the Goldenrod Tower, there's the Goldenrod Underground, then there's, you know, the Underground, then you've got Ecruteak with the Burn Tower and the Bell Tower, you've got Olivine City, you've got Cinnabar Island, and then the remakes, you've got what, routes 46 and 47 for the Safari Zone, and then what, like route 30 something, 20 something, that you've got Mount Mortar. Mount Mortar is fucking huge. You've got the Lake of Rage, the Ice Path, Dragon's Den, and then you have all of Kanto once you beat the Elite Four. Hoenn, same thing. You know, you have Rust Earth Tunnel, you've got... I forget the name of the tunnel for Dewford. Fuck, I forget the name of the tunnel. Anyway, then you've got... Like, once you get Surf, you have access to the whole region, and I just remember finding, like, a bunch of Ruin Maniacs when I went surfing. I found a bunch of, like... I found the Reggie stuff on my own, but I didn't understand what the fuck it was, because I didn't really, like, care to figure out what the circles and dots were. And then once I like came across a YouTube video a few years later, I was like, oh, that's what that was. Generation 4, we're going through it now. And then you've got the Heart Gold Soul Silver, Black and White. That one was linear. I will give, that's the one thing I will say, it was extremely linear, was Black and White. Black and White 2, they really knocked it out of the park. They gave us a shit ton of things to do. Like, an exorbitant amount of bullshit to be doing, because why not? Of course, I have two different things happening at the same time. Anyway, so like, I don't know, I feel like generations 6, 7, 8, and 9 have been extremely lazy in the world building department. Now, granted, you know, they make decent-ish characters, I guess. Decent-ish. I don't really care for Hop, Hal, any of your fuck-ass friends in Gen 6. Nimona was, you know, a rival. She wanted to fight you and get better. She wanted you to get better and beat her. Gary was an asshole. Silver was a dickhead. Brendan and May were just chill. And then Barry was just like kind of a, not a, he was a Gary, but minus the asshole part. Like, he was always ahead of you, but, like, he was just that energetic guy, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, that's my take. Everybody can hate on me and say that I'm wrong and that I'm stupid and I have bad opinions, and I will tell you that you're absolutely right, but I'm entitled to my own opinion, and fuck you for thinking that I'm wrong, because I know what I'm talking about, and I think that Pokemon has gone downhill, and if you are unwilling to see it, then you're a handheld baby who wants their fucking baby hand held. Like, I don't know. I remember having to figure out what the fuck the type chart was on my own, and once I figured it out, I learned it. That was really nice. Now kids just have it where it says it's super effective. It doesn't say anything if it's neutral, and then it tells you if it's not very effective. You know, they made a whole extra type just to nerf dragons, and even then, like, they just made the fairy type super OP. You know, I'm not saying they couldn't nerf dragons with fairy, but like, fairy low-key is stupid broken. Generational gimmicks fucking suck. I don't like them. I think that they're stupid. I think that they're bad. I don't like Mega Evolution. I think it's just not a good thing. I don't like Z moves. I don't like Dynamax and Gigantamax. Don't care for Terastallization. I just like base Pokemon. That's it. I'm a purist, I guess. I think that running the games the way that they have been running is not good for players who really enjoy, you know, playing a game in a different way. It feels like the games are definitely a lot more linear, and they want you to play a specific type of way, and if you don't, you're kind of punished in a sense, but in another sense you're really not. I don't know. If I want to play with Sobble and I want a Dragapult, why the fuck do I have to sit there and hope for foggy weather and then hope for like a 1% chance that my wishing piece is going to give me a fucking Dreepy? Like, no, I'd rather just encounter the Pokemon, if that makes sense. Make a foggy route, and then you come across a level 7 Dreepy. There you go. The EXP crystal thing, I don't really care for it. I mean, it's good for grinding, like if you just want to bust out all of your levels super fast. Other than that, I don't really care for it. I just did that. Things never get old. I was just talking about how I know the type chart and how I learned it, and then I go and use a move like Spark on a ground type. Alright. Well, I'm glad you got to see my jeans. I've been meaning to show them off for a long, long time, guys. Leg reveal. Alright. That's a wild time to go on a break. Anyway. That's right. Her coworker quit on her. Anywhoosies, Foppa's still out here, gaining levels, fighting his way up. Rock smash. Alright. Excuse me. I have run out of conversation topics. However, we will still continue on. Hunting down Pokemon. I'm kind of interested to see which will shine first. My Platinum, which I've played more, or my Diamond, which I've gotten far more encounters on. He hit the mud sport. Boss, what do we do? The Geodude is dead. What do I do? Nothing too crazy's gone on for me lately. Just been working a lot, dealing with a bunch of nonsense fuckery there. You know, disrespectful ass people just treating other coworkers like shit, acting like they run the place, and then the moment you send them home, they're bragging like they just won the fucking Super Bowl, talking about something. That's how you get sent home early. Like, I don't know, some people just have behavioral issues, and I'm like, how in the fuck did you make it through life? But that's me. I'm a crazy guy. The Geodude is dead. He deaded. Alright, I'm just gonna stand there and watch me burn. Well, that's alright, because I love the way you burn. Or something, I don't know. However that song goes. Zubatsu. Zubathu? What are you doing, Zubathu? Confusion? You're dead, dumbass. Level 13. What kind of opinions do you guys have about Pokemon that are relatively unpopular? I personally fucking hate generational gimmicks. I think that they are stupid. I think they have hurt the longevity of Pokemon. And if anybody disagrees with me, not only are they wrong, but they're stupid. Terrestrialization, terrible gimmick. Let's see. Mega Evolution was a terrible concept in my opinion. Okay, let's give all of the pseudo-legendary Pokemon and 3 of the most broken fucking legendaries in even more broken form, in which any format they are allowed, they immediately start dominating. Where is the logic in that, guys? Like, am I a crazy person? Because last I checked, no bueno. So then they went with Z moves, and sure, it's once per battle, like Mega Evolution, and it's only 1 attack, and you should pick it at the right time. However, why do we need an insane cutscene of a Pokemon shooting a fucking beam out of it? Like, am I a crazy person for not wanting to watch a cutscene every single fucking time I use an attack that I know will kill something? I don't know, I feel kind of weird, but I know Pokemon is mainly meant for children, and, you know, the target demographic is definitely evolving. However, a large sum of Pokemon fans are not children, and they know this, and they cater to them. So why not cater to your more adult fans and release a Pokemon game that's actually difficult? That would be fun. That would be sick as hell. But that's me. I don't know. Just something about that bothers me. I've recently gotten an Xbox Series X, the one with the disc drive, and I've been grinding the fuck out of Oblivion for the past 2 days, and let me tell you, that shit is fun. Very addictive, very fun, very goofy, silly game. I've got to figure out how to get back into Cyrodiil, or not Cyrodiil, my bad. The Imperial City without having to go to jail. Because I may or may not have murdered a person to get into the Thieves, or not the Thieves Guild, the Dark Brotherhood, and then wanted to sell something, didn't think anybody saw it, and then immediately get hit with a, "Stop, you violated the law, murderer!" And I'm like, oh, fuck. So then, as I'm doing my thing, as one does, I get outside of the city, hop onto a wall, and start fighting with the guard. And then I get arrested, and those motherfuckers charged me out the ass, took my shit, and made me go to jail. And I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. Not me today. But other than that, I mean, I've just been grinding, making my character over encumbered, and then trying to figure out how to sell shit. I'm thinking about setting my shit outside of the gates of the prison district, and then just turning myself in, and then grabbing all of my shit back. But I don't know if it's gonna stay there, and that is my problem. However, we're doing what we can, and that's all that matters. I've thought about doing a playthrough of Skyrim, but I need to get a stronger laptop so I can set up a Elgato or some PVR or whatever. Or, I might just say fuck it and start streaming. Who cares? It's gonna give me less viewership than normal, but, I mean, I'm used to having no viewers, so can't go less than 0. I'm not gonna owe YouTube viewers. And I refuse to bot my account because that's gay. I'm not view botting. I don't know. I think the world is in an interesting place at the moment. We've got AI going crazy, where AI is costing a shit ton of money for companies to make. And then on top of that, you've got, game consoles being a pain in the ass to buy, computer parts being a pain in the ass to buy. The housing market, not fun. We have a foreign war happening. I think the US is in an interesting place at the moment. Don't know how to feel about it per se, but we're just gonna live our lives to the best. Alright, Zubathu is dead. Alright. We'll probably have a shorter episode this episode. It was my weekend the past few days, but I just kind of wanted to be lazy on top of the fact that Oblivion, and then I was spending time with my girlfriend just trying to relax. Not trying to stress about life or anything. So I put the games of Platinum and Diamond on hold, and I just chilled. I was meaning to play them at night and grind a little bit before bed, but laid in bed and then just immediately fell asleep. And so it is what it is. don't really care. Alright. There we go. And another Zubat. Lovely. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Alright. Alright. And with that, we are going to go ahead and call it an episode here, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And with that, you guys have a great day.